First up, Roxanne Modaferri. This is going to be her last fight, so she is going to be retiring, and we're just going to give a quick recap of her career. Roxanne's first fight was in November 9th, 2003 in Smack Girl. So she has been around for a long time. She has fought in a lot of different organizations over the years, including the Ultimate Fighter, Invicta, Strikeforce, Fusion Fight League, and obviously the UFC, which she'll be fighting in this Saturday. And she's had some big wins over some tough opponents. In my opinion, she's definitely a fan favorite, even though not the most. She's never held a UFC championship. She's never got a championship in the other organizations, although she has got some title shots in some of these other organizations. But her nickname is the Happy Warrior, and that definitely describes her. If you've seen her in The Ultimate Fighter, I think that's where a lot of people learned about her, including my wife, who loves Roxanne and loves watching her fights and loves rooting for her. And so, Fern, just give me your thoughts about Roxanne, her career, and what's your opinion of this being her last fight?
Roxanne's last fight is going to be very interesting to watch. I became a fan of her with her win over Macy Barber. I do not care for Macy Barber, and seeing her beat up on Macy Barber when Macy was limping was a good feeling. I feel like she was a good veteran that they brought in to, make an up-and-comer have to prove themselves against. And, I still think regardless of the injury, Roxanne would have done the same thing. She's one of those fighters that you just don't, unassuming, you'd run into them and you'd be like, I could take them out, and then they'd whoop you. So just the nickname just reminds me of Smiling Sam Alvey. I love it. It's cool to see people who just aren't all about that toughness, that trash talk. It's just they're students of the game and love learning and love, putting it to work and seeing how well these martial arts work and in real scenarios. I also saw, her win against Andrea Lee, and that was a good one. And so just, despite her best efforts, she was able to come up short against some of the top opposition, but the wins that she did have, I was very impressed. I did not expect her to hang in there, and always had a good attitude. So I think that's super cool, just that humble, normal person that's a fighter.
Yeah, and talk about a fighter. I was looking back for her record, and I noticed that starting in 2010, she went on a 6-fight losing streak for 3 years. So from 2010 2013, racked up 6 losses in a row. For a lot of people, that would be the indicator. Okay, maybe my time's done.
Hang it up.
But she loves fighting so much. She continued to improve and get better. And she racked up a bunch of wins after that, so had almost another decade of fighting after going on that 6-fight losing streak, which just kind of speaks to her mental attitude and approach to martial arts, which is that she loves it. She definitely has the fighter spirit, and I think it's she's going to be missed. I hope that she can kind of remain as an ambassador to the sport, that she'll be mentoring young up and coming fighters, and that she'll stay involved. I think she said she wants to compete in like jiu-jitsu tournaments, just wants to be still be involved somewhat in combat sports, but just not getting punched in the head anymore. She's worried about head trauma, which makes sense for the number of fights that she's had over the years. It's crazy that she's been around this long. So hats off to Roxanne. Can't wait to see her last fight.
Yeah, definitely going to be an exciting one. And we'll do a live reaction, or some sort of post-reaction, because I think everyone's going to be talking about it regardless.